I knew it wasn't for me, okay? And even in the college level, I wasn't really too sure what I wanted to do. I told you guys, all I thought about was sports, man. I'd go home. That's when ESPN first came in. Boy, and it was cool. I remember the old cable boxes. You guys have the digital. We talk about technology. The cool digital deals, you just point that remote at it and it does everything. Guess what? I had a white box, okay? I'm dating myself, a white box for cable, okay? That sat on top of the TV. It was huge, and it had the slider button that went left and right for cable or no cable. I kid you not. ESPN came out. Domino's had just become established, and they used to give their pizzas with 2 free pops. Yeah. So it was the pizza pipelines took their idea. Okay? Yeah. Back in the day. So this guy lived on pizza and pop, and I watched ESPN. Okay? There's a little bit of history.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Every now and then my roommate and I, we would go to the store and we would buy these. It wasn't very good cuts of beef, but they were on these big deals. They were like $2.99. And my mom gave us a crock pot, so we would put some rice or beans. Actually, we would put red beans in it in the morning, let it stew all day, and then go to the store and get that meat, come home, and yeah, we knew how to eat. Top Ramen, when we were running low on food at the end of the month, Top Ramen was like, we made gourmet meals out of Top Ramen and hot dogs. You laugh at Madison, but you would say, Mr. Wallace, can I get a second helping of that? Okay, here's what we've got going today. Today is the 31st. Oh, I'm sorry, Phoenix. ROTC, what is
it's
that?
Reserve Officer Training Course.
Oh, for good. And we talked about the officers. So, reserved. Officers. Training. What was the last word?
Corps.
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 Silent P.
Oh.
Okay? So that's what it is. So if now listen, we talked about that. You do ROTC, you go 6 to 8 weeks of boot camps, 3 months, I don't know what it is now. Once you're done with that, you're an officer. So your pay, let's say that a private, Andrew, you said, let's say a private, he's done with boot camp, he comes out, he's got his one stripe, he's feeling good. He might, just throwing numbers out there, I don't know what their pay is, but let's say he only makes $24,000 a year. Okay? Now the officer is probably double that. After you're done with boot camp, your pay, saying it might be anywhere from $36,000 to $40,000 a year. Yeah. Okay? Little something to think about. Always arm you guys with information. So when you make your decisions, you know how to make it. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Wally, for the let's get it started in that sugar. Okay, that we put into everyone. Now, one thing we did forget to ask, is anybody in here allergic to nuts, peanut butter, chocolate? Yeah?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay? That's the one thing. We always want to make sure, because we will do, you know what, every now and then, don't expect it every time, but every now and then we'll do stuff like this. Yeah, it's a holiday. If you're in my math class, we're going to compete for some stuff today.
Yes.
Okay, but I don't get you till tomorrow. So 5th period is on, Andrew. Have your math juices flowing. Okay?
Boy versus girl or off and on?
No. Imano, you against me, you against Andrew. So we want to see how fast we can calculate. That's in 5th period. Okay? That's in 5th period. So yeah, we have some stuff and we'll check. Here's what we've got on the store today. Okay? We're going to do the LGIS. Let's get it started. So we're going to have a reading, and we're going to do it about in regards to the Civil War. Then we're going to do some independent reading time. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. And then we're going to do some readings from our Scholastic magazines. Here's the objective. Tirash, you with us? Here's the objective. When we do the Scholastic reading, we're going to read these 2 different articles. Okay? And then we're going to teach you guys, or hopefully learn. And if you understand what compare and contrast is, we're going to make your skills better at being able to compare and contrast. And we're going to use those 2 readings from the Scholastic magazine to do the comparison and the contrast. Okay? I don't know. He was just at the door. So here's what we're going to do. Let's get it started. Okay, in regards to the Civil War. Now, earlier this week we did a reading on who?
Benedict Arnold.
Yes, that was yesterday, wasn't it? And what was Benedict Arnold about? Ooh, Tirhas, great word. He was a traitor. Now, what does that mean?
That means
That
like
is
he was like working for one part, but then he got mad because he got replaced and he went to another part.
Okay, so now you said working for one part and went to another part. Now, when you say parts, who was he working for and who did he go to? Yes, from where? From where, Trios? America. That traitor.
America.
Okay, so remember, if a friend, now that you guys have that information, now, did he come from a wealthy family?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Did he die a wealthy man?
No.
Ooh, why?
Because his choices.
Okay, so you said because of his dad. Now, Montana, that was concrete detail. That is something that was in the reading. His parents were wealthy, but because of his dad's poor decisions, okay, with their money, he had to drop out of school, correct? Thanks, Andrew. Okay, give one Isaiah. So he had to drop out of school. Now, he kind of did the same thing, okay? So you guys have some information now that if somebody says, oh, Lexi, don't be a Benedict Arnold, Lexi's going to say, hey, look, I'm not a traitor. Okay? Now, look, you guys are going to go out and use that term. Look at Kyla's like, ooh, man, I've got to store that one in my vocab. Yeah. Oh, sorry, David. Okay? So Benedict Arnold. Now, earlier this week, we also had a couple of other readers. Who else did we read about? Some pretty cool people. Austin, matter of fact, started us with a great conversation in regards to one of them. Who? Jackie Robinson was one. Okay, and who was the other one?
That woman.
What was that woman's name? Harriet Tubman. Well done, Kate. Harriet Tubman. Now, so here's the deal. What was the importance of Harriet Tubman first? She was before Jackie Robinson. And Austin, you asked that question. What was the importance of Harriet Tubman? Well, and that was compared, but, yeah, yes, well, how come? But Harriet Tubman, what was the importance of her?
Because she was a different black woman to help slaves.
There you go. It might not have been the first black woman, but she was the one that, you know, was very prominent in making things happen. Now, she would help the slaves. How did she help the slaves?
Underground.
Bingo. Austin. Yes, underground railroad tunnels. Okay? Now, they were going from the north to the south, correct? They were going from the north to the south? Ooh, south to the north. Okay, why were they going to the north?
Because of
Freedom.
Bingo. And finish. No, because of? There was no slavery. You know what there probably was, but let's just say in the north they squashed it a ton more than they did in the south. Remember, the south, they wanted it, they wanted it, they wanted it. North, they didn't. Okay? Now, Austin, when you say freedom, there's certain things that come with that freedom. So when you say freedom, what do you think the slaves were able to get in the north that they weren't able to get in the south? Okay? Now, what comes with freedom, though?
Rights.
Your rights. Your rights to what?
Talk.
To talk. Ooh! Okay? Austin, well done. Now, you think slaves in the south could just talk at any point in time?
No.
Okay?
No.
Okay? Story. True story. My own family. Okay? Grandparents, great-grandparents. If a black man or a black woman was walking on the street and they were approaching Caucasian or white people, the blacks had to get out of the way. Okay? And give them the right of way. Now, even more so today, this past June I was in New Orleans. And you would think here, we're in the year 2012 and that slavery, or not slavery, but the racism would go away. It's never going to go away, but it's still pretty strong there. Okay? That still happened in New Orleans. Okay? Blacks walking, whites walking, blacks were supposed to get out of the way for the whites. I kid you not. Okay? Kid you not. So it's still there. Now, with some of the things that we have in this world, do you think they're ever going to go away 100%?
No.
No. But they're getting better, but they're still there. Yeah. A buddy of mine that was down there told us. It's the unspoken. Okay, now remember, you don't have to, but it's an unspoken because guess what happens? Now remember, what article were we talking about where it was an unspoken? Yes, good, Austin. So it's Jackie Robinson where it was unspoken, where the baseball owners were saying we are not going to hire an African American to play in the major leagues. Okay? It was an unspoken. It wasn't law like you said, Madison, but it was an unspoken. Therefore, it was an unwritten law, unspoken law that if whites are coming, I as a black man have to get out of the way. Okay? And knowing me, I'd be in trouble. Because I live up here. I've had my freedom. And I believe in equality. Okay? So I would probably get into a ton of trouble. Not by the law, okay, per se, but I would get into some form of trouble. Okay? So Harriet Tubman, very prominent. Now we talked about Jackie Robinson. Montana, do you have a question or you? No? Okay.
Huh?
Did you have a question? I saw your hand.
I was gonna say like when Carrie was happening, when she was